Hey, what is going on, guys? This is xpvrad here, and I'm bringing you another video over the beta. And this time, the video is about me basically giving my review of the beta and like how servers worked. And so, the format for the video is going to be me giving out 3 pros and 3 cons, because I don't want to be talking forever about the beta, because I actually could talk forever about the system, the servers, the characters. I can go into very good detail because I think I kind of have a bit of an understanding now that I played it. But I'm just gonna go straight into it right now. So the first thing I'm gonna cover are the pros. And so the first pro that I have is that it had good netcode for the majority of the time. And what I say is true. It did have great netcode. Like even 4 or 5 frames were playable. It was absolutely playable. It wasn't perfect. Like I felt that some of my inputs did get dropped a lot of times, and like the tag button wasn't working, which there were some comments that I saw a lot online about basically input latency and just stuff wasn't coming out. But overall it was very good. Even when it went to 8 to 9 frames, it was still very playable. I mean, it wasn't ideal, but it was still playable, and I got to enjoy it, except for the last day where the servers went to shit for some reason. I didn't understand why, but apparently this wasn't like a widespread problem. I don't know if it was just in my region, but the frame delay on the last day was just so bad. I don't know if it like everyone was on during that time, but it was not playable at all. It was like last gen. But let me go to the second point, which is the game looks and feels amazing. And when I say that, I mean it. The game looks amazing. Like it does. It looks really good, really good. Like even the backgrounds are just beautifully animated, and everything just feels so well. The fights feel so well. It strangely feels like you're in the show. I know you hear that a lot. Everyone says, "Oh, it feels like you're actually in the show," but it truly does feel like you're in the show. And the feeling of the like controls, and it feels like you have power. And so the third pro, fun. The game is very fun once you figure out, and once you're not getting beat up. Because when you're not getting beat up, and when you're having those close matches, when going back and forth, it is very fun, and it's hard to put the game down. But once you get going, it's pretty hard to stop. And so that's it for my pros. It isn't like an all-encompassing review, but it is pretty dense, and I cover the main topics. And so let's go to the other part, the cons, which there are quite a few of them. If this wasn't perfect, there was quite a few of them, and I'm probably going to start off with the most important one. The servers were terrible, especially for Xbox users. I mean, throughout the whole time, the servers were riddled with issues, from crashing to people wasn't getting let in. Even like when the open beta first started for the early access, the servers was closed for like an hour. I mean, it was fine afterwards, but when it went open, my god. It was just problem galore. People couldn't play for a whole day. Xbox couldn't play at all, basically. Yeah, you just type RIP in the comments for the Xbox users, or if you are an Xbox user, because they did go. I don't. And unfortunately, I don't think this problem can really get fixed at launch. Like, it could improve for the PlayStation, but for Xbox, I think y'all are pretty fucked. I think y'all face screwed you over pretty bad. Because I think The reason why it happened is because they honestly didn't think that Xbox would have that many users, since one, fighting games only come out on Xbox, two, anime games only come out on Xbox before. I mean, besides the like AAA ones like Naruto, Bleach, not really Bleach, Dragon Ball. Those are the ones that usually like are on Xbox. And I guess, and because Xbox just doesn't sell well, in like last Christmas or during Christmas week, Xbox only sold like 23 units or something like that. It was a crazy number, 20 something. It was bad, but yeah, the servers were not that great, I have to say. So for the second point, or second, whatever you want to call it, is the frame delay counter was not working correctly on the last day. I mean, this may have been a problem throughout the whole beta, but on the last day especially, like I was getting games that said frame delay was 2-3 frames, but it felt like my moves came out like 1 second after I input it. It got bad. It got really bad. Like this, it's not really that big of an issue, but it just, I don't know if it's when like the frames is too much that it can't even count. But I noticed there were some issues on the last day. Like with the frame delay counter, sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes like you get like an 8 frame game and it doesn't feel that bad. Like it feels like a 3, 4. It feels great. I don't know if that's like a netcode or like something wrong with the connection. Maybe you're too far away or something, but I don't. They just need to fix the frame delay counter because there are some bugs with it, like some major bugs. And so, for the last point I have is certain characters have higher priority over the others. Now, I say this on a balanced standpoint. I know we haven't had that much time to play with the beta. However, the little time that we did have, you saw there were some characters that clearly outclassed others. I'm talking about Yubu, Cell, Goku, Frieza, Vegeta, basically everyone else except Krillin, Nappa, 18, Piccolo. Who else was in it? Yeah, that's all the players that got or characters that got stomped on. And basically, when I say priority, it's basically what button can beat out the other. And this was a problem I saw throughout the whole thing. Even Beers had this problem, like, you press a button at the same time. However, like, even if it's, sometimes it would work with the heavy versus the light, or light versus the heavy. Sometimes I'll press the heavy, but it will get beat out by a light. And I would see my light would beat a heavy. I don't understand how that works, or like the system that they're going with, but I can see that it was clearly a problem. There were clearly some favoritism, some characters, and I don't understand like that from a balance standpoint. I don't understand like if they're literally promoting these characters to be like seen in tournament play, but I don't understand. Maybe they're like balance changes that they had to implement because characters with like so overpowered that they needed to be nerfed. And I know 18 got nerfed pretty hard. Like she can't do those Makio combos or Japanese player combos, but that's neither here or there. But the priority, it was definitely an issue. Like it just promoted button mashing, and what made it worse is a lot of things in the game are safe, and like when you try to punish the things that aren't safe, you just get hit by the other character's priority. It was really ridiculous, and it basically promotes button mashing and playing stupid and not playing like smart, and the better player isn't winning a lot of times unless you like abuse the system, which it shouldn't be. The system shouldn't be abused in a fighting game. Then we get the issue that Street Fighter V had, where the system was being abused. We have players like Smash players winning Capcom Cup. I'm not trying to like call anybody out, but that didn't happen in Street Fighter 4. Well, anyway, that's enough bashing on the game, on other games. Tell me what experience you had in the beta was good, bad, terrible, amazing. If you liked the video, leave a like. Didn't, dislike, understandable. And also, subscribe if you're feeling a little bit generous.